Rutgers coming to bat for the first time against the Indiana Hoosiers. They'll face the starting pitcher, McCade Brown. Talented right-hander for the Hoosiers, already with plenty of accolades. He'll face the leadoff hitter, Mike Neister, who will take ball one inside. The Scarlet Knights, we mentioned, trying to rebound from the season, or the series opening loss to Indiana yesterday. The 1-0 swung on, put on the ground to Espalin at short, fields and fires in time, one away. So Rutgers in this probably the hardest stretch of the season so far, in the middle of playing 14 consecutive games against the top 4 teams in the Big Ten standings, obviously one of the best baseball conferences in the country. So Joe, what's the mentality of a coaching staff and a team right in the middle of this hardest part of the schedule of the year?
Well, Coach Owens is still building his team here at Rutgers. This is, was here last year in a partial season, and then this is his first full season getting through the Big Ten. So Coach is seeing the Big Ten for the first time, and they had a rough go of it at Iowa. They probably came back, regrouped, had some conversations, and playing the Michigans and the Indianas and Nebraskas and teams that are ranked, that creates a lot of excitement. And so Coach Owens, one of the top coaches in the Northeast, one of the top coaches in the country, rallied his troops, built some excitement. They got a win out at Michigan, beating Michigan at Michigan 2 out of 3. That's huge. That's what builds momentum in a season, builds momentum in a program.
Offensively, momentum looking to get started here at the dish is Richie Schiekhofer, the hottest hitter in the Scarlet Knights lineup. Digs in the 2-hole with one away, and a 1-2 pitch. Breaking ball misses a little bit high and outside by McCade Brown.
McCade, well-built right-handed pitcher, uses a fastball, has a big loopy curveball.
2-2 pitch, fastball, fouled off.
Does a really, really good, gets downhill. Ball gets up on the hitter pretty quick. McCade Brown and Braden Tucker on April 10th, earlier this year, pitched a combined no-hitter versus the Illinois.
Swung on and missed. He struck him out. First strikeout of the day for McCade Brown. He's got plenty of those this season. Now 67 on the year compared to just 27 walks. He's got a 4-2 record, a 3.38 ERA. This is his 9th start of the 2021 season. And first pitch to Ryan Lasko. Misses ball one. Lasko, the freshman center fielder, batting .271. It's 29 hits and 107 at-bats. He'll take strike one. McCade Brown working quickly.
And Matt, you mentioned McCade with his 67 strikeout of the year. That's what Indiana does. They're second in the Big Ten. They have 316, 317 strikeouts on the year, 109 looking. So they limit. The Indiana pitching staff limits what their defense has to do.
Just misses his spot there. Stephen Litton has a couple calls to make here early on with his strike zone, but establishing his rules early on in the first inning. Right back to work. Here's the 2-2. That misses low, bounces on the turf.
And you mentioned the strikeouts, and also we should mention Indiana's defense. And we should see great defense on the day. Indiana's second in the Big Ten with a .974 fielding percentage.
Here's the payoff with 2 outs. Swung on and missed. He struck him out. 1-2-3 inning for McCade Brown and the Hoosiers in the first inning. No score. We'll go to the top of the second on Big Ten Network Plus. Bottom of the second inning, no score. Rutgers and Indiana, game 2 of a quick 2-game series. First of 4 games for the Scarlet Knights at Baton Field during this Big Ten pod. They'll dig in against McCade Brown. Scarlet Knights seeing Brown for the second time this season. And pretty good outing his last time out, Joe.
Yeah, Matt. On March 6th, McCade went 7 innings, gave up 3 hits, 1 run, 1 earned, walked nobody, and punched out 12 Scarlet Knights.
Evan Slate's going to put one on the ground to first base. Fugers takes it no problem. 3 unassisted for the first out of the inning.
And he threw 104 pitches on that day, so it's quite the outing there.
So for Coach Steve Owens and the Scarlet Knights, what's the conversation before you see a pitcher of this caliber for the second time in a season, which isn't always something you get to do during a regular season in the conference?
Yeah, man, not the starters. You don't, you see relievers. You may see them twice in a weekend and that, but usually your 1, 2, and 3 guy, you see them on a weekend, you move on, and somewhere down the road in a playoff scenario, you would see a guy for the second time. In this Big Ten schedule, you're seeing a pitcher multiple times in the regular season. So there's a lot of film that you collect. There's some conversations. You make some adjustments on your scouting reports. But I think in McCabe's situation with the Knights, I mean, coming in, he punched 12. He's going to be around the plate. You gotta sit on a fastball and put a good swing on.
Chris Brito into foul territory in the air. Fugers took a long time to get down to him, but he makes the grab, and there's 2 away. 5 in a row to start this game for the aforementioned McCade Brown.
And again, back to the question about seeing the same pitcher and the starting pitcher in the same year. I mean, it's unique. Later this weekend, I mean, shoot, Rutgers just went out and swept the Cornhuskers in Nebraska. And before you take a breath and, pat yourself on the back and feel good about it, they're right back in New Jersey this weekend. That's something you never see.
First pitch to Danny DiGiorgio in there for a strike. And you also know that's in Indiana's mind, too. Indiana's not protecting first place, which is something Nebraska could not do against the Scarlet Knights.
Yes.
0-1 bounces up.
Later today, Indiana's going to play Nebraska. You have a 21-9 team, a 20-10 team.
First and second in the Big Ten. Incredible matchup.
Yeah, you have Rutgers is fighting to get into that top 4, make their hay the rest of the way. No playoff in the Big Ten this year, so it's all about getting regional bids.
Here's a 2-1 pitch. Called strike 2.
You win the regular season, you get the automatic bid to the NCAA regionals. Probably looking at the Big Ten, you're, probably 4 probably, you're automatic and 3 or 4 at-large bids.
2-2 bounces off the turf, runs the count full against DiGiorgio. That's why protecting that first place position becomes so important, which you have to wonder if that was in Nebraska's mind last weekend and now fresh in Indiana's mind against a scrappy Scarlet Knights team and the number 2 team now, Nebraska. 3-2 pitch hit well on a line to center field. A few steps to his behind is Richardson making the grab, and that'll do it for the Scarlet Knights in the bottom of the second. 6 in a row. Sat down by McCade Brown to start his outing. And Indiana will come to bat in the top of the third when we come back on Big Ten Network Plus. We go to the bottom of the third inning. Rutgers and Indiana. Tough to be a hitter today against these couple of pitchers toeing the rubber at Bainton Field. McCade Brown back to work in the bottom of the third. Still looking for our first hit of this ball game. As Kevin Welsh digs in and fouls off the first offering from Brown, 0-1.
Yeah, and I would expect Rutgers hitters to be aggressive. Brown's around the plate the whole time. He's not messing around. Get in there, get a good pitch.
The 0-1. Fouled off again.
Try to put a good swing on it. That was a good swing there by Walsh. He just missed it. One thing Rutgers hitters may want to do is kind of take some time out, slow this game down a little bit.
Kevin Welsh, 2 for 4 yesterday, and will strike out swinging here to start the third inning, 1 away. Third strikeout of the game for McCade Brown.
Well, Brown's not messing around. He just came after Walsh with his fastball. He went out, in, up, and have a seat, Mr. Walsh.
3 pitches. He's done that a couple times today with a 3-pitch strikeout. First pitch swinging. It's Josh Rodriguez, designated hitter, hitting in the 8th spot for Steve Owens and the Scarlet Knights today.
Well, both teams utilizing the DH in the 8-hole.
Rodriguez looks at strike 2.
McCabe has a real firm fastball. Not a lot of movement, but very firm.
Rodriguez picked up a hit yesterday. He was 1 for 4 and swings through a breaking ball, and it's another 3-pitch strikeout, 2 strikeouts to start the 3rd inning, and there's a quick 2 away. Dominant looking from McCade Brown.
Well, Rutgers has got to find a way to break up McCabe's pace right now. Get in, call timeout, fake a bunt, take a pitch, go down, talk to Coach Owens.
First pitch to Andy Axelson, Scarlet Knights catcher today. Got the day off in the first game yesterday. Has the catching duty for Ben Wareski for this morning's game.
Axel hit no 71.
Little swing at the 0-1 and loft it into left field. No problem for Drew. And that's a 1-2-3 in the 3rd. And the Scarlet Knights go down in order 1 through 9 to start this game. We'll go to the top of the 4th inning, no score. Still no hits for Indiana either, as they're going to try to figure out Ben Wareski. They have their own job to do when we come back on Big Ten Network Plus. Bottom of the 4th inning, no score. Rutgers and Indiana at Peyton Field, part of a 6-game Big Ten pod weekend in Piscataway, New Jersey. We got a good pitching matchup. It's McCade Brown back to work after retiring the Scarlet Knights in order his first time through. So we'll flip the scorecard, and Mike Neister leads it off in the 4th and looks at strike 1.
Yeah, Neister, Rutgers' leading hitter, 365 on the year. He's turned out to be a really nice player.
Tried to check his swing to no avail. 0-2.
Mike came into Rutgers, started out as a middle infielder, played a little bit of third base, started as a freshman in left field.
This one's hit over the pitcher's mound. Going to be a tough play. A short barehanded play is in time. What a play by Spalen. We talked about his defense. That's why he's in the lineup. A+ shortstop and 1 away on a phenomenal barehanded putout by James Spalen.
Yes, an all-star play there. You know, you had to come in, charge. Not only you had to play the short hop, you're barehanded in the short hop. And Neister runs well. It's a bang-bang play over at first base.
And once it got over that pitcher's mound, you got to be thinking infield single. Comebacker right back to Brown. Underhand toss will get Richie Schieckhofer. And that ends up being 2 quick outs in the 4th.
Yeah, McCade, again, just continues to trust his stuff, pound the strike zone, challenging the Rutgers hitters.
And Schieckhofer's a really tough out. He comes into this game with 4 consecutive multi-hit games, and now he's 0 for 2. And right back to work, McCade Brown. You talk about trusting yourself. You really see that with his pace today, and he just oozes confidence with the way he goes right into his windup. 1-0. Here's Ryan Lasko looking at strike 1.
Yeah, and it starts with Justin Parker, the Indiana pitching coach. It doesn't look like they're messing around. Getting the catcher, they're just putting the sign down. Hopkins is putting the fastball down, and McCabe's filling it up first pitch.
He just shook off 2 signs there, so we'll see what he comes after here. He wanted his fastball, and it was a good choice.
Sure.
Lasko wasn't quite ready for it. A little late and swings right through it. 1-2 now. 1 strike away from retiring the first 12 batters and goes after the breaking ball. Fouled off at the plate. And we'll do it again at 1-2.
McCabe's 39 pitches on the day here, too. I mean, we're in the bottom of the 4th. 40 pitches.
Brown will look for his 5th strikeout to potentially end his 4th and tries the high cheese. Lasko holds off, evens the count at 2-2.
McCabe's worked on some 8-pitch innings here.
2-2 swung on, fouled off. Count holds. 2-2, 2 outs. Scarlet Knights looking for their first base runner against McCade Brown. Changes speeds, misses high, so good at bat by Lasko. As we mentioned, no base runners yet. Scarlet Knights will certainly take a base on balls just to break up this rhythm. Payoff. Swung on and checked, and he went around. Strike 3. He struck him out. 5th strikeout of the game, and 4 innings of perfect baseball to start McCade Brown's outing for the Indiana Hoosiers, who will come to bat and have some work to do with their own against another good pitcher, Ben Wareski, who is not allowed to hit. Shaping up to be a good pitching matchup on Big Ten Network Plus. Scarlet Knights coming to bat.
That's pitch 48 on the day.
0-1 misses high. McCade Brown from Normal, Illinois. Obviously an oxymoron. There's nothing normal about McCade Brown. And the performance he's put together really all season. We'll talk about one in mid-March in just a second. As another check swing. Scarlet Knights with these couple of check swings these last couple of innings, just kind of proving how uncomfortable they are against Brown right now. Here's the 1-2. Breaking ball, just misses his spot.
Yeah, Linton could have grabbed that. That was a pretty good pitch. And you mentioned the Knights hitters kind of fighting it a little bit. I don't know what they're fighting. He's just coming at him with a fastball.
Tries the same pitch and gets it that time. Strike 3 called, slight down looking.
That was a wicked pitch. That was his best breaking ball of the day. I mean, that was really a wipeout slider. He hasn't shown that pitch all day. Hasn't need to. But, you could see that if he's able to throw that for a strike with 2 strikes, it's going to continue to be a long day.
6 strikeouts on the day for McCade Brown. They'll face Chris Brito. Fouled out his first time up against Brown. Here's the 1-0. You got to love that last strikeout pitch, too, because it was the same pitch he tried prior to that, and he missed it by just an inch, and he went right back after it. He said, you know what, I can do that better, and he did. And he just hit it again there as Brito swings through, and he's down 1-2 very quickly. Man, he doesn't give you much time to breathe, this pitcher. 1-2. Called strike 3.
If Rutgers hitters don't start stepping out of the box, I mean, there has to be some sort of adjustment. I mean, right now, you couldn't say it any better, Matt. I mean, like, McCabe is getting the ball, and he's delivering in 4 seconds or less.
Confidence absolutely through the roof right now. You could see it. The body language tells you everything you need to know about him right now. And that's the fake bunt, exactly what you were talking about. Try something. And I think that's what was just communicated to Danny DiGiorgio to try to break this up. Now 14 in a row. He's got 3 strikeouts in a row.
Just get somebody moving their feet out there.
And DiGiorgio quickly down 0-2, so just 1 strike away now from possibly one of the more efficient innings of McCade Brown's outing, and it's been like that throughout the game. The 0-2. Called strike 3. He struck out the side looking, and you cannot be hotter than McCade Brown right now.
A lot of energy coming off the field from McCabe looking in his Indiana Hoosier dugout.
Not sure if the sun came out or if that's just being a little too close to McCade Brown. Just what's shaping up to be looking like an all-time outing for him. And he's already had a 16 strikeout game this year, which set a program record.
We haven't had time to talk about it.
We'll take just a quick breath of fresh air because this pitcher doesn't really give us much opportunity to do. We'll be back in a minute. Indiana still without a hit against Ben Wareski. Back in a minute on Big Ten Network Plus.
For the Scarlet Knights, number 2, Kevin Welch.
No runs, no hits, no errors for either side. Just 1 walk to speak of. The only base runner in this ball game that belongs to Indiana all the way back in the first inning. And we go to the bottom of the 6th. Kevin Welch digs in against McCade Brown and swings through the first offering, 0-1.
Welch, a switch hitter, hitting 282 on the year, has sneaky pop.
Swung on and missed again. Down 0-2. He struck out his first time up. One of 8 strikeouts for McCade Brown. Tries to make it 9. The fastball on the high corner.
Let's see if he goes back to that wipeout slider. He threw that in the... There it is.
Yeah, it's swung on and missed and tripped up there at home plate. I think he was going to start taking his run down to first on the drop strike 3. Then it was tagged out, I believe, and 1 away in the 6th on strikeout number 9 by McCade Brown.
Yeah, that was nasty. He started introducing this slider in the 5th inning, the first 4 innings, he just moved his fastball around.
So 16 in a row to start his outing as home plate umpire Stephen Litton calls time, but the pitch was thrown anyway.
Nice
He's
job.
hearing it from the Indiana dugout.
Nice job by Rodriguez. That's that timeout that I was talking about. Just get him off his game.
This will be the first pitch to Rodriguez. Brown doesn't care. He doesn't care. No, nothing's throwing him off today. Right back into it. Here's the 0-1. Breaking ball, called strike 2. He can't do anything wrong.
Oh, he keeps throwing that 0-1 slider.
He's got 5 strikeouts in a row. Make it 6. Swung on and missed. And he just had a couple of words of encouragement maybe for himself or for his teammates in the dugout. He's absolutely feeling it right now. Never seen someone deal like this in a long, long time.
This guy, he's really grinding, but, that's what Indiana does. They lead the Big Ten in ERA, strikeouts. They're second in walks allowed.
First pitch to Andy Axelson. Breaking ball, called strike 1.
Indiana's first. They don't hit anybody, and they're first in batting average against. Came into today 199.
68 pitches for McCade Brown. He's 1 out away from getting through 6 perfect frames. Now, breaking ball just misses inside. It'll be a 2-1. I feel like it's been forever since the Scarlet Knights had a so-called hitter's count. I don't know if there is a hitter's count against this pitcher. Swung on and hit in the air to foul territory in left field, out of play. It'll be 2-2 with 2 outs.
That may have been the most solid contact Rutgers had on the day.
In a long time, that's for sure.
Foul ball.
It's got McCabe thinking about it for a second. I swear he actually took 3 seconds to throw a pitch as opposed to the 1 or 2 we've been used to.
That was a nice job by Axel, and he just kind of fought off that fastball. I think he may have been guessing that slider and kind of had a little panic swing at the end.
Could they be timing him up? The 2-2 swung on and missed. Absolutely not. Strike 3. That is 7 straight strikeouts for McCade Brown, and he's perfect through 6. Hoosiers will come to bat. We're through 6 innings. No score, no hits. Phenomenal pitching matchup on Big Ten Network Plus, and we're not done. Come on back. So the Hoosiers in the top half of the 7th finally got to Ben Wareski, who escaped the bases loaded no-out jam. So now the Scarlet Knights will see if they can figure out McCade Brown, who looks to stay perfect into the 7th inning now, and deals ball 1 to the top of the lineup, Mike Neister.
Matt, we talked about Rutgers hitters breaking McCabe's momentum. Maybe his offense broke his momentum. It was a long inning.
It's the first time he's really sat down to think about. That one's hit well into left field. Best contact of the day. Hit well, so long. First hit of the ball game is a solo home run for Mike Neister, and the Scarlet Knights take a 1-0 lead. How about that for breaking up the rhythm?
That ball was hammered. Mike's had a big day defensively. He hit up in the picnic groves up there in left field. No doubt about it.
Mike Neister earned this selfie. Watch the celebration. Click. Save that picture.
Well, there you have it. Indiana's offense, they got them loaded, and they put a long inning together. They kind of iced their own guy.
Strike 1 dealt to Richie Schiekhofer. Mike Neister, 2nd home run of the season.
That was a no doubt about it, too.
Absolutely launched into left field.
1-0 right off the bat.
Again, just the first hit of the ballgame. Not only that, really the first clean contact.
Yes.
Off of McCade Brown all day long. Here in the bottom of the 7th inning. And here's one of the hottest hitters in the Rutgers lineup, Richie Schiekhofer. We mentioned 5 games in a row he's had multiple hits. He's 0 for 2 against Brown today, who deals a fastball high. You do notice a little slower pace now.
Oh, yes.
From Brown.
Starting to look at his hand. He's wearing frustration a little bit on his face.
The 2-2. Check swing. He holds it up in time. Richie Schieckhofer stays alive. Almost went after one in the turf. And it's a full count against the Scarlet Knights 2-hole hitter. Schieckhofer 0 for 2. He struck out in the first, grounded out in the fourth, and he's going to take a walk.
Yep.
So leading off the 7th inning after 6 perfect frames, Neister with the laser home run, and Schieckhofer works a walk, and he'll be on first base with nobody out for Ryan Lasko.
If I'm Justin Parker to pitching, I'd make a visit here. I would slow McCade down. All day, his momentum speeding up was all positive energy. He needs to take a breath right here.
Lasko struck out twice against Brown, and Lasko shows bunt, pulls it back. Ball 1 was called.
And McCabe needs to wipe the Neister at bat away. It's over. He just needs to go back into filling it up.
See, you haven't seen pitches like that all day.
He's grabbing it a little bit. He's falling off a little farther to the first base side. Again, now we're seeing him out of the windup for the first, out of the stretch for the first time. I just think he needs somebody to talk to him.
Behind Lasko, 2-0. And misses again, 3-0. So he couldn't have been hotter. Coming into this inning, he struck out 7 Scarlet Knights in a row. 9 of his last 12 perfect outings were by strikeout. And now home run, walk, and now he's behind Lasko, 3-0, and recovers there with a strike.
Yeah, he got ice. We talked about the momentum. You know, his offense went out there, and he had the bases loaded, nobody out. Indiana's ready to explode. We're going to keep that train rolling. Warsaw pitches out of it. He made a good pitch to Neister. Had a good fastball, was firm. Put a good swing on it, hit it out of the park. It happens. But what's happened after that is what's troubling. He's lost the strike zone a little bit. Doesn't look comfortable out of the stretch.
He may be thinking about it too much and maybe just wanted that throw over to first base to check Schieckhofer just to kind of reset himself. Only offense to speak of here in the 7th inning. 2 hits by Indiana. Just 1 hit by Rutgers here in this inning. It was the solo shot by Mike Neister. That's your score, 1-0. Here's the 3-1 in there for strike 2. So another full count. Schieckhofer worked a full count and drew a walk.
See if Coach Young starts a runner over here. Young freshman, 6 for 8 on the year in stolen bases.
Lots of speed. Here's the payoff to Lasko. Fouled off, we'll do it again. Schieckhofer did stay put.
Yes. Not a lot of action out of Coach Owens down at third base. Some late signs.
Another full count pitch. Runner on first, nobody out. Ball 4 was called.
Well, that'll get the Indiana dugout going now on Steve Litton. Again, it's a pretty good pitch here, 3-2.
So now after 6 perfect frames, McCade Brown allows the leadoff home run in the 7th and then 2 straight walks right at the heart of this Scarlet Knight lineup. Schieckhofer and Lasko draw their bases on balls. And here's the cleanup hitter, Evan Slight. Plenty of power to speak of.
And Justin Parker made his way to the mound for the Indiana Hoosiers, a pitching coach. And that's what I said. I think he waited a batter too long. I would have maybe went out there right after that first walk. You know, he settled things down. Rutgers was looking to bunt. They were going to give you an out. You missed the first pitch. Now you're trying to settle your guy down, but then you also have to put some sort of bunt defense on here. There's going to be a lot of action.
So that Neister home run, just the 4th allowed by McCade Brown this season. He'll face Slight. Slight's got 3 homers of his own, 4 doubles as well. He's in an RBI situation with a couple of runners on, including his teammate Schieckhofer in scoring position. Slight has 22 RBIs on the year, hitting .280 in exactly 100 at-bats.
Rutgers third in the conference in sack bunts, 18. This would, I think, be a tailor-made time to sack bunt.
Bunt shown, and he does lay it down, but dribbles foul.
Bunt at ball one.
It was close enough to the strike zone where Slight thought he could put it down.
Yeah, McCade Brown and fastball kind of up and in on him. Let's see if Owens will stay with the bunt. Always a good play.
Sheetcoffer off second, Lasko on first. Evan Slight 0 for 2 against Brown today. The 0-1, bunt shown again, quickly pulled back, and he'll watch ball one. Evens the count, 1-1.
You could see, Matt, there that Indiana went to the rotation play, goes off a look. Cable look at his shortstop. Look to the catcher in the second look. They charge the third baseman. Shortstop goes cover at third, trying to get the force out there.
That's Spalin on the move at short. Brown fakes a throwback to an unmanned second base, as you see.
Yep.
Sheetcoffer kind of looked around like, who's here? No one's even here.
I think the second baseman missed the sign. Looked like that was a kind of a set play. Used to run that place called Boston College. They were famous for that. They'd run the rotation play, and then they'd come back with the pick with the second baseman behind the runner.
You saw in between pitches, Spalin and Tate's
Yes.
communicating, kind of figuring out who's who.
It's usually an automatic.
1-1 to Slight. Breaking ball served in the air to left field, deep but in play. Tracking back was Ashley to make the catch. We're going to have a tag and an advance. Throw got away for just a second, but cleaned up by Barr at third base.
Heads up play there. Both runners tug up. As good as a bunt there. And right when that was happening, Matt, the wind kicked up. That ball carried pretty good out the left field there.
Yeah, you saw Ashley settled under it, but then really had to start backtracking, going backwards, and it ended up probably pretty close to the warning track out in front of the Rutgers baseball logo out in left field.
He didn't really get a good break on that. Like you said, it kind of never got his feet set under him when he was trying to make the throw. There's some communication. They're going to put the runner on base.
Chris Burrito is going to get walked intentionally.
Set up the double play here.
So bases loaded. Yeah, double play set up, but bases full of Scarlet Knights now with just one out. So they'll choose to face Danny DiGiorgio in this spot. He's 0 for 2. I mean, every Scarlet Knight was 0 for 2 before this inning, but things looking a little different now in the seventh. Kind of looks like a new ball game at this point. McCade Brown's going to look to work out of a jam of his own. First pitch to DiGiorgio on the ground, 2 seconds. See if they can turn two. There's one and there's two. There's his best friend, the double play, and he'll escape further damage after the Scarlet Knights finally get through to him. They solve the puzzle. Mike Neister with the solo home run to make this a 1-0 ball game, but could have been a lot worse.
Yeah, there's a lot of action. Knights got guys on base. Had the guy up that they want, a good runner. First pitch, one hopper to second base, and Indiana's coming to bat.
They're trailing for the first time.